Okay, so our progress report says we are at stage 5, paragraph page 350. Stage 5, paragraph page 358. Okay, and
It's
our
correct.
last headword was narrow, newer type of lesson. Okay, so let's start with revision. Ready?
Okay.
Okay, here we go. What can we use instead of I'm not, you aren't, he isn't, etc.? What can we use instead of I'm not, you aren't, he isn't, etc.? Instead of I'm not,
Instead of I'm
you
not,
aren't,
you are not, it
he
not,
isn't. Okay, so
he
what's the
isn't.
contraction first? We can use I'm not,
We can use
you're not,
I am
he's
not,
not,
you are not, he is
etc.
not, etc.
Very good. If you want to go from one side of the road to the other, what must you do? If you want to go from one side of the road to the other, what must you do? If I want to
If
go
you
from one
want to
side
go
of the road
from one side of
to
the
the
road
other, I must cross the
to the
road.
other, I must cross the road.
Very good. What must you do before crossing the road? What must you do before crossing the road? I must look both
I
ways
must look
before
both ways
crossing the road.
before crossing the road.
Very good. If you wanted to go from there to Scotland, would you have to cross the sea or would you be able to go all the way by land? If you wanted to go from there to Scotland, would you have to cross the sea or would you be able to go all the way by land? If I wanted
If I
to go
want
from
to
here
go
to
from
Scotland,
here to cross
I'd
Scotland,
have to cross the sea.
I'd have to cross the
I
sea.
can't go all the way
I can go all the
by
way
land.
by land.
Very good. What was the first thing you thought of when you woke up this morning? What was the first thing you thought of when you woke up this morning? The first thing I
The
thought of
first thing I
when I
thought
woke up
on
this morning
when I woke up this morning
was
was
what?
breakfast.
Breakfast. Very good. Same as me. Okay. What's the opposite of the word dangerous? What's the opposite of the word dangerous? The opposite
the
of the
danger,
word
the opposite of the word
dangerous is
dangerous is
safe.
safe.
Do you think it's safe to shop online? Do you think it's safe to shop online? Yes or no?
Yes, I think
It's safe to shop online.
it's safe to shop online.
It's also easy. Very good. Do parents often worry about their children's safety? Do parents often worry about their children's safety? Yes,
Yes,
parents often worry about
parents often worry about
their children's
for children
safety.
their children's safety.
Well, is it safe for young children to cross the road on their own? Is it safe for young children to cross the road on their own? No, it
No,
isn't safe
it isn't
for
not
young
safe
children to
for
cross
young
the road
children
on their
to
own.
cross the road on the own.
Do you like going on holiday on your own? Do you like going on holiday on your own? Yes or no?
Yes, I like going on
On
my
holiday
own,
on my own.
on holiday on my own.
Very good. What's the past of the verb to lie? What's the past of the verb to lie? The past
The
of the
past
verb to
of
lie
what to write
is
is
lay.
lay.
How long did you lie in bed for last night? How long did you lie in bed for last night? I lay in bed
I
for
laid in bed for 8 hours
last
last
night.
night.
Very good. When do people use the word sir and madam? When do people use the word sir and madam? People use the word
People use
sir and
the word
madam
sir
to
and
be
madam
polite
to
when
be
they are
polite
speaking to
when
their
they are speaking
customers in a
to the
shop,
customers in a
their
shop,
officers in the
their
army,
officers in
or
the
their
army,
teachers at
or
school.
their teacher at school.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. Excuse me, sir.
Excuse me,
Can I
sir.
help you?
May I help you? Can I help you?
Very good. What do we use? When do we use the words gentleman and lady? When do we use the words gentleman and lady? We use the
We
words
use
gentleman
the
and
word
lady
gentleman and lady
instead of man and
instead
woman
of man and
when we
woman
want to sound
when
polite.
we want to show pride.
Sound polite. Very good. Give me an
Sound pride.
give me an example. Give me an example, please. Which of these two
Which of these
gentlemen gave you
two
the book?
gentlemen gave you book
And will you ask
and
that
will
lady
ask
her name, please?
lady her name, please?
Very good. What's your title? What's your title? My title
My
is.
title is Mister.
Give me an example of sir and lady used as titles. Give me an example of sir and lady used as titles, please. Some examples of
The,
sir
for example, sir,
and lady used as titles. One more.
lady.
One more. Some examples. Some
Some examples.
examples of sir and lady
Some lady
used as titles
use
are.
as I quote
Sir Paul McCartney
Sam Paul
and
McCartney
Lady
and
Diana.
Lady Diana.
Which two countries have the highest standards of living in the world? Which two countries have the highest standards of living in the world? Denmark and Switzerland
Denmark and
have the
Switzerland
highest
have
standards
the
of
highest
living in
standards
the world.
of living in the world.
What's the standard height for a man in your country? What's the standard height for a man in your country? The standard height for a
The height
man in my
for a man
country
in
is
my country is 173
centimeters.
centimeter.
Very good. When do we use the expression would you say? When do we use the expression would you say? We use the
We
expression
use
would you say
expression would
when
you
we
say
ask somebody
when we
for
ask
his
somebody
opinion about
for
something.
his opinion about something.
Right? Would you say that the king's life was better than that of the average man? Would you say that the king's life was better than that of the average man? Yes or no?
No,
I wouldn't say that
I
a
wouldn't
king's
say
life
that
was
king's life
better than that
was
of
better than that
the average man.
of the average man.
Very good. Which tense do we use after the expression would you say? Which tense do we use after the expression would you say? We use the past
We use
tense
the
after
past
the
tense
expression
after the
would you say.
expression. Would you say?
What would you say was the best way to remember something? What would you say was the best way to remember something? I'd say that the
I
best
say
way
that the best way
to
to
remember
remember
something was to
something
repeat it often.
was to repeat the action.
Very good. If the sky looks dark and cloudy, do you sometimes decide not to go out? If the sky looks dark and cloudy, do you sometimes decide not to go out? Yes. If the sky
Yes,
looks
if my
dark
sky
and
looks
cloudy,
dark and
I
cloudy,
sometimes decide
I sometimes
not to go
decide
out.
to not to go out.
When your shoes look dirty, what do you do? When your shoes look dirty, what do you do? When my shoes look
When
dirty,
my shoes
I
look
clean
dirty,
them.
I clean them.
Very good. Do we pay the driver when we get in a taxi? Do we pay the driver when we get in a taxi? No, we don't pay
No,
the
we
driver
don't pay
when we get
driver
in a
when
taxi.
we get in
Uh,
taxi.
we pay when we get
We
out
pay when we get
of a
out
taxi.
after the taxi
Of a taxi.
of a taxi.
In your country, do you have to buy a ticket before getting on a bus? In your country, do you have to buy a ticket before getting on a bus? Yes or no?
Yes, my country
We
have
have
to
to
buy
buy
a
a
ticket
ticket before getting on a
before
bus.
getting a bus.
Getting on a bus.
Getting on a bus.
Very good. How much is the bus fare from your home to your... Are you working already? Or you're a
Yes.
student? Oh,
Oh,
working.
no, no, not yet, not
Student.
yet. Yes,
Okay.
up. I know,
Student.
working.
Working. So how much is the bus fare from your home to your office? How much is the bus fare from your home to your office? The bus fare from
The
my
bus
home
fare
to my
from home
office is about...
to my office is about 200 yen.
Oh, expensive. Okay, next. Has your country got a royal family? Has your country got a royal family? Yes or no?
Yeah,
My
I
country's
my
my
country
country's got
got
a royal
country
family.
got a royal family.
Very good. How do we get mud on our shoes? How do we get mud on our shoes? We get mud.
No,
We
we
get
get
mud
mud
on our shoes
our
by
shoes
walking in the
while
countryside
walking in the
in the
countryside
rain.
in the rain.
Very good. Are famous actors often surrounded by crowds when they go out in public? Are famous actors often surrounded by crowds when they go out in public? Yes.
Yes,
Famous
a
actors
famous
are often
characters
surrounded by
are
crowds
ocean surrounded by
when they
crowd
go out in public.
when they go out in public.
Are the buses in your town usually crowded in the morning? Are the buses in your town usually crowded in the morning? Yes or no?
Yes,
The buses in
yes.
my
The
town
buses in
are
my town
usually
crowded
crowded in
are
the
usually
morning.
crowded in the morning.
Very good. Have you ever been the captain of a sports team? Have you ever been the captain of a sports team? Yes or no?
Yes,
I've been the captain
I've been captain
of a sports team.
of a football team.
Tell me the name of a famous sea captain. Tell me the name of a famous sea captain, please. The name of a
The name
famous
of a
sea captain
famous sea
is
captain,
Captain Cook.
Captain Cook.
Very good. Which is the widest street in the place where you live and which is the narrowest? Which is the widest street in the place where you live and which is the narrowest? ABC
ABC
Street
Street
is the widest
is
street
the widest
in
street
my place where I
in
live,
my place. I live.
and
123 Road is
is
the
the
narrowest.
narrowest. Very good. Okay, and that's the end of our revision. Very good, very fast. Let's have new words. Okay, repeat.
Okay.
Flag,
Flag.
flag. Okay, national.
Flag. National.
Very good. Okay, listen. Flag is a noun. It is a piece of cloth with colored patterns or pictures on it that represents a country or an organization. For example, flag of Japan, flag of the Philippines, etc. The flag of my country is blue, red, yellow, and white. National is an adjective. National means relating to countries or to one particular country. For example, I know the origin of my national flag. Let's practice. What color is the flag of your country? What color is the flag of your country? The flag of my
My
country
flag of
is.
my country is red and white.
Do you know the origin of your national flag? Do you know the origin of your national flag? Yes or no?
Yes,
I
I
know
know
the origin
the
of
origin
our national flag.
of our national flag.
National flag.
National flag.
Very good. Next, repeat. Grass.
Relax.
Live on.
Live on.
Very good. Okay, listen. Grass is a noun. It is a low green plant that grows naturally and covers the surface of the ground. For example, if there's no rain, grass becomes yellow and then it dies. Live on is a verb. It means to only eat a particular type of food. For example, if we say John lives on pasta, we mean that John only eats pasta. Let's practice. Name an animal that lives on grass. Name an animal that lives on grass, please. A horse is an
A
animal
horse and
that lives
animals
on grass.
that lives on grass.
What happens to grass if there's no rain? What happens to grass if there's no rain? If there's no rain,
If there's no
grass
rain,
becomes yellow
grass
and
becomes
then it
zero
dies.
and then dies.
And then it dies.
When it dies,
Very good. One more. When there's no rain,
when there's no rain,
grass becomes yellow.
be,
Grass
grass becomes
becomes
yellow
yellow and then it dies.
and then it dies.
Very good. Next, repeat. Tower.
Tower.
Very good. Okay, listen. Tower is a noun. It is a tall, narrow building, often a square or a circle, that either forms part of a building or stand alone. For example, Tokyo Tower, Sky Tree Tower, Eiffel Tower. Let's practice. Where is the nearest tower to the place where you live? Where is the nearest tower to the place where you live? The nearest tower
The
to the
nearest
place
tower
where I
to
live
the place
is
where I live is Twin Tower.
Twin Tower. Very good. Okay, next repeat. Wet,
Wet,
dry.
dry.
Very good. Okay, listen. Wet is an adjective. If something is wet, it is covered in water, covered in rain, covered in sweat, covered in tears, or other liquid. For example, the streets are wet when it rains. If I walk in the rain without an umbrella, I'd get wet. Dry is an adjective. It is the opposite of wet. If you're not wet, you're dry. For example, if I got wet, I'd have to take my clothes off and hang them up to dry. Let's practice. Are the streets dry when it rains? Are the streets dry when it rains? No, the streets
No,
aren't
the
dry
streets
when it
are dry
rains.
when it rains.
They're wet.
They're wet.
If you walk in the rain without an umbrella, what did happen? If you walk in the rain without an umbrella, what did happen? If I walk
If
in the
I
rain
don't in the rain
without
without
an
umbrella,
umbrella, I'd get wet.
I I get wet.
If you got wet, what did you have to do with your clothes? If you got wet, what did you have to do with your clothes? If I got wet,
If I got wet,
I'd have to take my
I have to
clothes
take
off
clothes off
and hang them up to
and
dry.
hang up to dry.
Very good. Next, repeat. True.
True.
Very good. Okay, listen. True is a verb. It is the past of throw. For example, if you threw a stone at the window would break. Let's practice. What's the past of throw? What's the past of throw? The past of
If
throw
I
is
pass up
through.
throw, it's
Is
true.
through. What did happen
It's
if I
true.
threw a stone at the window? What did happen if I threw a stone at the window? If you threw a
If
stone
you
at the
throw a
window,
stone at the
the
window, it's
window break.
broken. The
The
window
window
break.
break. Very good. Next, repeat loud.
Loud.
Turn up.
Turn up.
Turn down.
Turn down.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word loud is an adjective. It means causing a lot of noise. For example, the radio is causing a lot of noise. It's too loud. Turn up is a phrasal verb. It means to increase the volume, increase the speed, etc. Turn down is also a phrasal verb. It is the opposite of turn up. For example, if my TV is turned up too loud, I turn it down. Let's practice. If your TV is turned up too loud, what do you do? If your TV is turned up too loud, what do you do? If my TV is
When my
turned up
TV
too loud,
turn off too loud,
I turn it down.
I, I turn it down.
Very good. Okay, next repeat. Reflexive pronouns.
Once
Reflexive
again,
reflexive pronouns.
reflexive pronouns.
Pronouns. Very good. Okay,
Pronouns.
let's talk about reflexive pronouns. Okay, repeat. Myself,
Myself,
yourself,
yourself,
himself,
himself,
herself,
herself,
itself,
itself,
oneself,
oneself,
ourselves,
ourselves,
yourselves,
yourselves,
themselves,
themselves,
consequently,
consequently,
protect.
protect.
Very good. Okay, listen. We use a reflexive pronoun when the subject and object are the same person or thing. In the sentence, the teacher taught me, the subject and the object are different people. The subject is the teacher, me is the object. In the sentence, I taught myself, the subject and the object is the same person, me. Consequently means because of that, we use the reflexive pronoun myself as the object. Okay, the word protect is a verb. It means to keep someone or something safe from injury, damage, or loss. For example, we carry an umbrella to protect ourselves from the rain. Let's practice. What are the reflexive pronouns? What are the reflexive pronouns? The reflexive
The
pronouns
favorite pronouns
are myself,
are
yourself,
myself, yourself,
himself,
himself,
herself, itself,
herself,
oneself,
itself, oneself,
ourselves,
ourselves,
yourselves, and
yourselves,
themselves.
and themselves.
Very good. When do we use a reflexive pronoun? When do we use a reflexive pronoun? We use a
We
reflexive
use
pronoun
a reflexive pronoun
when the subject and
when the
object
subject
are the
and
same
object
person or
are
thing.
the same person of things.
Is it right to say I look at me in the mirror? Is it right to say I look at me in the mirror? No, it
No,
isn't right to
it
say
isn't right to
I
say
look at me in the
I
mirror.
look at me in the mirror,
Why not? Why not? Because the subject
but the
and object
subject
are the
is
same
the object
person.
is the same person.
What must we say instead? What must we say instead? We must say
You
I
might
look
say
at myself
I look at myself
in the mirror
in the
instead.
mirror instead.
Do you think it would be easy for me to teach myself Chinese? Do you think it would be easy for me to teach myself Chinese? No, I
No,
don't think
I
it
don't
would be
think it's
easy for
easy
you.
to it to be
Easy
easy
for
for
you
you
to
to
teach
teach
yourself Chinese.
tell Chinese,
Why not? Why not? Because Chinese
because
is a
Chinese
difficult language to
is a
learn.
difficult language to learn.
Did you wash yourself when you were a baby? Did you wash yourself when you were a baby? No, I didn't wash
No,
myself
didn't wash
when I
myself
was a baby.
when I was a
My
baby.
mother washed me.
My mother washed me.
What did you do if you saw a man trying to kill himself? What did you do if you saw a man trying to kill himself? If I saw a
If
man
a grown man
trying to kill himself,
trying to kill himself,
I'd try to stop him
I tried to stop
or
him
call the police.
or call police.
Very good. Okay, so now let's move on to your reading.
Okay,
Very good. Okay, so our reading is at stage 5, paragraph page 330. Okay, the last headword was win 1 1. Win 1 1.
okay. Win one one
Okay,
lottery.
and lottery. Okay, start with the second question. What are the three forms of win? What are the three forms of wind?
What are three forms of win? The
Yeah.
three forms of win are win, won, won. Does your country usually win at football? Yes, my country usually win at football. Do you do the lottery? Yes, I do the lottery. Have you ever won? Yes, I've won. If you won million pound, what would you do with it? If I won £1 million, I would travel around the world. Is this useful and useless? Processes. Is this pen useless? No, this pen isn't useless, it's useful. What do we do with useless things? We throw useless things away. What are the two most useful things you possess? The two most useful things I possess are smartphone. Do you think that what you are learning now will be useful to you later on life? Yes, I think that what I'm learning now will be useful to me later on in life. Why? Because it will help me get work and speak to people from other countries. That the contraction would
Of wood.
contract. What what the contraction I would? The contraction I would is I would I'd.
I.
What as a contraction of you would, he would, she would, etc. The contraction of you would, he would, she would, etc. are you'd, he'd, she'd, it would be, you'd, did. If you want to the cinema this evening, which film would you see? If I went to the cinema this evening, I see the uh,
Uh,
ABC movie.
ABC
If
movie.
I were you, which language would I speak? If you were me, you'd speak
Japanese.
Japanese. If a plant had no water, would it die? Yes. If a plant no water, it
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 did
would die.
die. Very good.
It died. What's the contraction of bookwood? The contraction of bookwood is booked. Listen, what, who would, what would, which would. Listen to who do, what do, which do. If you were a king, what do your wife be called? If I were a king, my wife would be called a queen.
Very